What's up, universe? It's your boy Skirt, back at you with another video because I'm terminally online and this is all I got going for me. So let's dive right into this. I want to talk about your future. And no, I'm not talking about you, Greg, at the bottom of your mom's basement, working at Starbucks in a dress with zero potential. No, you have no future. I'm talking to all of my boys, all my fam out here. What is our future, okay? In MX ATV Legends and also all console video games. Like, what is the trajectory? Trajectory? That's a hard word. Multiple syllable words aren't my thing, okay? I like big toddies and Latina mommies, not syllables, all right? As I digress, what is the future of MX Legends? You might ask yourself, or all console video games. I feel like the future is going to be very simple. The future is going to be, okay, let's make all of the arcadey games that we have out right now that are saturating the market, let's make them more realistic. And it just dawned on me, I haven't seen too many videos of people putting in time on this, what do they even call it, the EX400 experimental bike? Yeah, haven't seen many videos about this bike, but then I ask, why did they even put this bike in there? I feel like they put this bike in there for a reason. Either they're going to create a new video game that is more realistic, because they already nerfed the clutch button. It's already gone, no matter what version you're in. Okay, does barely anything, which I agree with, by the way, because that clutch button boost was out. It was insane. It was a Thanos snap for video gameology. I didn't appreciate it how OP'd it was, but they're already moving that direction. And they put this bike out here, and I rode it one time in one video, and I didn't put much work into it. So I put a little bit more work into it to see if this bike and what they're kind of going for, whether it's a new game or a new setup, and I'll talk to you about in details what I think can be better, but I feel like they're pushing this direction. So we're gonna hop in and we're gonna go on some motocross tracks, some supercross tracks, just with the bike, just some races, just kind of see what it's about. All right, let's go. All right, and because we are about to kick off the 2025 MX motocross series, I picked Fox Raceway. Now we're in first person because I really do feel that shows us, if I'm being honest, the biggest benefit of this bike being a little bit more realistic. You get to kind of feel that simulator feel. Now, I will say this, okay? These guys are all on the same bike, so they're all dealing with the shit I'm dealing with, which is apparently not being able to turn. My goodness. All right. But what I will say is this. The first thing you notice is that this bike and how they changed the physics, it's a lot more planted, okay? A lot more planted. When you put it in first person, it's the first time MX ATV really gives you that feel of you're on a dirt bike, and I'm not just glazing, okay? I know I glaze fucking MX ATV, but let me tell you something. They're trying, god damn it, they're trying to go ahead and meet everybody halfway. You know, all the arcade guys, all the console guys, even the PC guys with simulator and MX bikes, they're trying to meet us halfway. So the first thing that they did was make this bike feel heavier. Now, with the heaviness comes a little bit more of a realistic feel, as in going into turns. The second biggest change is the clutch. Now, generally speaking, on MX vs ATV, you just hit the clutch, and you get a boost. This is not so much, and all the faster riders will know that you want to go fast into a turn. You want to, not do that, Kenny. Get up, Kenny. Don't be killed, Kenny. You want to go into a turn fast, check up, roll through it with speed, okay? Not a lot of brakes, not a lot of acceleration at first. Roll through it with speed, and then you want to go ahead and power out. Well, this bike is super cool because just like in real moto, with that, keeping that in mind, right? You want to hold your clutch in as you're trying to roll through turns, and then as you're exiting, or halfway through exiting, I'd say, you let the clutch go. You dump it, right? You dump it, and I'm not going to say like, oh, the modulation of the clutch is extremely accurate. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that if you dump it, you get a boost, okay? And just changing that alone makes you ride a lot more realistically than in the original version of the physics, bikes, and game. Okay, you ride the track more as if you're on the track, which I think is awesome. I have to be honest with you. It in first person, I like first person, but I like first person on the experimental bike a lot more because it is heavier. You feel more planted. Now, in the air physics, I still am trying to figure that part out because that's my next part is when you're in the air, okay, not only does it feel weird, it feels a little weird, okay, a little floaty and a little bit uncontrolled. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm saying that it's weird. I'm used to the the regular physics where you can kind of just do whatever. It's still free, but you have to deal with inertia, real life physics, stuff like that. Like you have to, if you pitch your bike a certain way, you're not just going to be able to bring it back all willy-nilly, okay? And because of that, it feels more realistic. And because of that, I kind of like the way they're going with it. Why do I always fucking off the track? Sorry about that. Sorry for cursing. Monetized YouTube, trying to cut my nuts off from under me. Anywho, so I'll say on those three things, which is the heaviness, the clutch, and the airborne physics, it feels like you're on the most real dirt bike you're gonna fucking be on, without going to a PC on a sim. That is absolute facts. As I put a couple, that's my last part that I'm going to get to on this last lap. But as I put a few laps into this, I haven't actually raced this track specifically. I raced a couple tracks, Loretta's, Redbud. Haven't raced this track, but for the video, I was like, let me race this track because we're about to get on it. Big lines are still possible, but they are so sketch, just like in real life. So all the big lines that you're used to taking on this game are going to be extremely tough to land clean. Totally stewable. And by the way, I say stewable for a reason. They are no longer just arcade lines that you learn. It's like, no, for real though, you're going to have to like figure this out because it's such a big line that if we're talking like real physics, at least to the game standards, you're going to have to come out with some fuego. Okay, you're going to have to hit it like a pro, okay? Like a real pro, like an actual racing pro. And to be honest, I like that. That brings up the difficulty factor, and I feel like if everybody jumped on this and just rode, these bikes like this, they would have a great time. Here's a big whip, for example. You kind of have to let it marinate. See how I had to throw a big and I had to leave it out there? I didn't do that because I was cool or because it looked cool. I can't even see what it looks like. I did that because if you pull it back too quick, it absolutely gets out of control and you will be like, whip back, whip back, whip back, whip back, like 8 times and still eat shit and die. So with that being said, everything on this bike and how it rides and feels, I mean, if this is the direction they're going, it's an amazing direction. As far as trying to make console, make it, no, I almost made it every lap. See, bodies are flying everywhere, cases, pure mayhem, but if you're going to go ahead and wish that these arcadey console games get more realistic, 'cause I know that Motocross the game is coming out, right? I feel that might be a little bit of pressure even added to getting this the way that they're, like just throwing this in, the way that they want to get it. Honestly, I feel like it's a great direction because, all of us, god damn it, all of us, when we play these arcade games, we want it to be as realistic as possible, but still be fun. When you slow stuff down too much, I'm sorry, Milestone, it doesn't become video game fun anymore, because Milestone is absolutely, not a, and if you case anything, by the way, you just die instantly, which is understandable because that's real life. Milestone is not a, simulator, they're an arcade company, right? They make video games for video gamers. It's not a simulation. However, their gameplay is very slow, and I feel like if you meet in the middle with quick gameplay, realistic physics, and some goddamn balls, I feel like you can make something amazing. Now, I'm going to switch to Supercross, which is a completely different story. Seattle 24. Now, I'm going to put it in third person. Chase, Encore. Sorry if I'm giving anyone a seizure. Perfect. To kind of show you the difference in how the bike reacts and handles when it comes to the different physics. Now, Supercross is a lot harder than outdoors. with these bikes and these physics, because the problem is you can't really come up short, not even a little bit, which makes you, you know, very precise, which makes sense, right? Like that is literally a simulation's job, is to make it feel most like real life, which I honestly appreciate. But it does bring up the difficulty level a lot and the skill gap a lot, right? With that being said, I mean, if we're all here to absolutely, see, super booter, barely made it. If we're to absolutely, you know, talk about what's going to be the future of console dirt bike video games, it's going to be the people who bring, you know, the most realism to the table. You know, no one wants a fake bitch. We want a real ninja. So what we're going to do, when it comes to, you know, creating these bikes and going forward, is we're just going to ask ourselves our question, you know, is this fun? Because that's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You know, is it fun to have a realistic feel? I think that it is fun if everyone's on it. I think it is fun if there's full customization. As you see, I hit the Kenny Roxton. Shout out to my boy, the only legend that's not going to show up this weekend at Fox Raceway, which I'm a little sad about. One of the GOATs in my opinion. But you know, to kind of talk about what makes it, you know, viable as far as, you know, where we move forward, I feel like this is kind of the path. I couldn't even make that. See, I knew I couldn't make that, and if you crash every time you case, then you absolutely have to check up, and sometimes that's real, you know? So I think that if everyone rode these bikes, and if the game developed the settings, because currently this game doesn't allow for you to adjust on the settings, which, you know, I don't, you know, this is just kind of like a test or a teaser. In the future, I want to see the settings be more specific. If they're going to go simulation route, I want to see more MX bikes type setups with suspension and customization. I want it to be, you know, not just click click boom boom up, you're good. I want to see, you know, some actual, you know, some brain power go into it. You know, I want setup to be difficult. You know, I know, you know, the nerds of the dirt bike world to just go out there and just get the best setup, and then you'll just go online and check it up or look it up anyways if you're not one of those nerds. So I feel you on that, but like, I want it to be difficult. I want there to be lots of setups and changes and you know, time at the test track. Like, I really want that to be a thing. So they need to change that. Obviously put this physics in every brand so that we can ride, you know, not an EX. We'll be able to have all of the good brands out there, and then go from there. Let's see. So first, second, third, derp. Let's get a wild card race. Let's go. All right. So for the wild card race, we're going to come to the Dog Pound National Test Track, and I'm going to speak minimally so that we can just kind of hone in on what this bike is doing. I'm going to go back to first person and let her go as soon as it lets me, which is now. Perfect. Oop, jump the gate. Twice. Oh no, it's not going well, folks. What's Sker gonna do? Tuck front. Oh my god, what a bitch. This is the battle for last. Let's see if we can... Here, since no one's around, I'm just gonna get a third person view of what we're dealing with. Let's see if we can maybe make more sense. Because I usually race in third person, although I do dabble in the arts of the first person. I'm a first world dabbler. See, you guys can even, I don't know if you guys can notice, but I notice the bike just looking much heavier, more planted, less video gamey. Like, they're on the right path for sure with this bike, I'm not gonna lie. But as a guy who has a tournament coming up this weekend on the old physics, having a lot of fucking seat time on this bad boy, which is what you're seeing. Okay, little OJ. Let's see if I can land it. Okay, I can. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Dare I say I might pass a couple more fuckers? Oh no. Make the berm, make the berm, make the berm. Shift third. Clutch in, land, and release the clutch. That's how you survive. So you land and release the clutch. Nice little boost on bottom. Just ride it like Deegs. Just. That's how you have to ride it. Definitely doing better in third person, I think, at this moment. Oh, you see? Oh my god. And every time they hit your back end, you absolutely just fly off into fucking nowhere. And everything I just did just undid itself because the AI apparently is beefing with your boy. Thing is lugging. Holy moly. Not very good. Not very good. That was tough. It was a toughie. It's toughy, yeah? You guys are lame. Not even the fastest lap time. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Well, there you have it, guys. That's a deep dive into the experimental 450 that MX vs ATV Legends gave us, and dipping into the future of what they're probably going to be bringing us in either future DLC and or a new video game. I'm very pumped at the direction that this whole company is kind of taking the game, because people always say that I'm a MX ATV glazer and that I hit on milestone. I feel like there is a beautiful middle ground that we can both come to, okay? I like heavy bike feel. I don't like slow, lame, retarded, short bus riding ability, okay? I don't like that. I don't like feeling like my bike is, you know, downsy. I don't like that. I want my bike to be fast, but I also want the physics to back that up so that it feels real, and now it's up to me to control it. As you saw, we rode a little outdoor, a little indoor. It's not easy, which I think is brilliant. It makes the game and the play amazing. And if this is direction that MX vs ATV Legends is going towards, I'm on board. I'll make more videos. Hopefully in the next upgrade for Season 4, they'll be able to add more manufacturers and more settings, and we'll be diving into this one. So I appreciate you guys for watching. This one was a fun one because anytime I get to look like Kenny Roxon, I'm happy. Huge fan. Let's go. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. And until then, skirt out.